Hey, DJ Nubis.
And DJ Neko.
Here with you on the Mealtime Radio podcast doing another movie review. Spoiler free, of course. It came out just yesterday or today. For some people last night.
They had some
early showing. So for the movie Sisu, which I did a trailer reaction a while back. Really excited to see this film. I know Neko was excited to see it, even though she was on the boat. She got a chance to
I
see
got
the
to
trailer.
see his trailer reaction. I was like, that looks really, really good. I didn't even know exactly what the synopsis was, but just everything in the trailer, the kills and everything were amazing.
Yep. And we've been really hitting the movie theaters as of late. We saw Evil Dead Rises last week, so we did a review on that.
Well, we haven't seen each other in a long time, so we're trying to hang out. It's kind of crazy. I only get like 2 weeks to unwind before I have to go back into the depot after I've been gone for 101 days. So we're really just trying to spend some time together.
Yeah. Get our health in order and all that good stuff. So this is Sisu 2023 for us Americans. I think it came out late 2022 across the seas, so it's now just over here in America. Initially watching the trailer, I think it was in their native tongue, like it was subtitled, but the movie we saw today was actually dubbed.
It was in English.
It didn't seem bad, like it wasn't off or anything, so it seemed pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It's directed by Jalmari Helander, and the cast consists of Jorma Tamilia, Axel Henny, and Jack Doolan. Tamilia plays our main character. Axel and Jack play a couple of the main Nazis, the main general, as well as the sharpshooter. The plot is when an ex-soldier who discovers gold in the Lapland wilderness tries to take the loot into the city, Nazi soldiers led by a brutal SS officer battle him. Yeah, so that's really just the plot. It doesn't waste a lot of time. It's like an hour and 30 minutes for a movie.
It was nice and quick and action packed the entire time.
Well acted. I had no problems with any of the acting in this for what it was. It's a lot of fun. It's brutal. The kills are crazy. Some of the kills, if you saw the trailer, the mine that gets thrown on top of the soldier's head was a great scene that we saw again, of course. You did make a good point. Like the movie itself kind of reminds you a little bit of what Tarantino would do because it's got kind of that little bit of vibe and the gore and the characters.
And also just kind of the coloring and the lighting as well. It kind of has that Quentin Tarantino like pulp feel, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Definitely the lettering was a big part. Yeah. Kind of remind me a little bit of the Hateful Eight and stuff like that.
And it also had kind of a westerny soundtrack, which is what Tarantino tends to do. Also, Tarantino tends to do period pieces at times. So, I liked it.
Yeah, the main character, he lost his family and his home when he was at war, and I guess his homeland got blown out in smithereens, so he lost his family. So he still wears the wedding ring, but he's out there searching for gold. So I'm sure it took him a few months because he had all these holes that he was digging around the river. Finally, he gets a nice big ore of gold that's within the rock, and so he's got it out. He's happy, kind of crying happy. So he's going to try to take it to the city so he can cash it in. He initially passes the SS officer who's in charge and his group, and there's really no confrontation. They kind of just look at each other as he's on his horseback and his dog's trailing.
And he just kind of goes. Yeah,
But then he comes across the other part of the company, which is broken down in their truck, and I guess this is where the SS officer was like, well, he's heading to death anyway. He didn't expect him to get past anybody. So obviously the run-in with the other group that's broken down turns a bit nastier. If you watch the trailer, you can see some of those scenes in there. That's what kind of like turns the officer around to come back after him. And then the chase is on. So he's basically trying to outrun and outduel these guys who also in the midst of supposedly supposed to be going to Norway by direction, but they have some hostages of women whom I think those are probably the guys that were hung that we initially saw.
Yeah, you'll see some like destroyed areas, and they never really get. I mean, it obviously doesn't matter to the story. They never get into what happened to the women or where they came from. You just kind of assume, because it is World War II, that, I mean, it's the Nazis are taking over Finland, so.
Yeah, and they do make mention that at this point the Nazis are kind of losing the war. So what they're just doing is they're just trying to like kill whatever they can.
Be worse.
Yeah. And so naturally they have the women, they're kind of raping them whenever they feel like, etc. But the women do have a good play in their roles later on. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. It was a lot of fun, straight to the point.
Lots of action, lots of great kills.
I think we agree the ending with the main character was a little bit far-fetched.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the guy took some serious beatings, and now you can kind of get away with some of that, but then you have to suspend disbelief too, because the whole movie
is a movie, and he's supposed to be a legend. So
yeah, he's like this legendary officer, and the Nazis picked the wrong dude to fuck with, and so just turned out to be a really good time. And those are the kind of times that we really enjoy when you go into a movie and you really enjoy it. Like we've watched some movies that we didn't review recently that didn't really live up to any kind of hype that we thought they might have.
Cocaine Bear.
That Knock at the Cabin wasn't. Megan, I actually enjoyed Megan a bit.
Yeah, Megan was okay. It wasn't great, but I guess I expected more with Knock at the Cabin because it was getting some hype.
Shyamalan, yeah.
And then with
Cocaine Bear had so much hype.
Yeah, Cocaine Bear had so much hype, and it was supposed to be. It could have been so funny, and it just wasn't. And Megan was okay, like really okay.
I enjoyed it. It has some creativity about it. I thought it might be a little more of a direct ripoff of Chucky, but it wasn't. It actually had some nice ideas. Might have done a little better with a stronger character, actors and stuff portraying the characters in there and stuff. But other than that, it was okay. But Sisu really hit the mark.
Yeah, we were. Really nice. I said to him the other day, I'm like, can we please watch a good movie? Like, we haven't seen a good movie in a while, and Sisu really did. Because he held off watching a bunch of things until because I asked him to, which were Cocaine Bear, Megan, Knock at the Cabin. I don't think we just kind of saw that on, what was it?
A lot of these were in Peacock because we had recently switched from Hulu to Peacock. So with that, just like if you were to go sign up for Paramount, you would get a few movies that aren't on Peacock and stuff like that. So it was nice to have some newer movies that had come out that we don't have to worry about renting because it's right there with the package. So
in Sisu, did you look up what the ratings are right now, like what the audience is giving it and what the critics are giving it? Because this is kind of odd. This has been out a little bit longer, and it's just been released in the US. So I'm wondering if they keep like the audience score from Europe and.
Yeah, I was telling you because we were initially going to go to a different theater to see it, and when I went to look it up for the certain time that we wanted to go, it was sold out. Like 3 showings today were sold out, and I'm like, wow. So I went and looked at the usual theater that we go to, and they had an opening for us. And we I think it was us and one. No, there was one other person behind us, but it was definitely. But we love that place. Like it's not really. It's the only one around really close to us, but it doesn't get a lot of traffic a lot of times. So, but Rotten Tomatoes, critics 93%, audience is 94% right now,
and that's kind of how I feel.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a great movie.
It's well thought out.
Good kills. I don't know if I would say it's an emotional movie, but there are times you're kind of looking at like the dog that accompanies him, and he had a horse, and there's some things, it's like. But
do you try to tug on your heartstrings with the dog and the horse?
Yeah. They really play with your emotions a little bit.
Because you're like, this is a guy who's lost everything. He's lost his village, his family. He was at war, and now all he has is this dog and this horse and his gold that he found.
Yep. But my rating for this will be definitely a 9 out of 10. What about you?
Yeah.
Same.
Absolutely.
So we agree with everyone else. It's around a 90%. So it's a really, really good movie. Don't want to give any too much away because it just came out. So obviously, down the road, if people want to talk about it, we'll be happy
We'll
to
be
do
happy
so.
to talk about it. It was very good. It was.
But I would definitely recommend get out and seeing it. It's a good film.
We need to support these smaller films, because I guess Lionsgate bought it.
Yep. Yeah.
And if you want to have some more, this is a unique type of movie. It's not a big name. It's not a superhero movie that everybody knows, because you got like the Flash is coming out and Guardians of the Galaxy is coming out. You know, Marvel and DC are huge. They draw crowds. But if you want to have, unique movies still being brought into the movie theater, go out and check it out.
Yeah, we know that Marvel and DC will make their money. These are the kind of movies that they really need people to get out and go see. So we can't recommend it enough for you guys to get out there and check it out. It's
one thing I want to circle back on, maybe another day, but you and I had gotten into this conversation a while ago, and I think even when we were doing the podcast, there was this article that we read that said something like, why was the 90s all the good movies written in the 90s?
Right.
And when you started looking at the movies that came out in the 90s, it was unique ideas. It wasn't like, I feel like now you're getting a lot of rehashing or remakes or reboots or superhero movies, or where for whatever reason that decade, you could tell it was a lot of like very unique things. And that might be something we want to look at again and kind of see like what's we can compare to now.
Well, someone made a good comment earlier today on Facebook somewhere, and of course the comment came out, I was like, I'm kind of tired of Marvel because there's just too much of it out there. And someone said, well, it's not really too much, it's just too often. So they're kicking them out very fast. So maybe if they had spaced it out a little bit, it wouldn't be so overwhelming for people. But I kind of see both sides of it. You got, because I'm one of those people that really like consistency with the same actors doing the same roles. And if you push it out too long, well, then they get older.
And it's harder to get them. They get under contract. And
so it's a catch-22 there, but maybe less content and stick with more characters that people know. I know they want to kind of open it up, but
that's why they're in phase 3 now, I think.
4.
Or 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why it's different characters, and you and I have different characters that we like from Marvel, where other people maybe have read other things, or they're younger and they're like, I definitely want to see this, new people coming out. So,
but anyway, get out, check Sisu. It's awesome. A lot of fun. You're going to have a blast with it. So we appreciate you guys. Hit the like button. Subscribe to our channel, please. Share any video you like of ours. Comment, please, if you got any comments, if you've already seen it. Love to hear your thoughts on that.
Absolutely.
And maybe sometime next week, Neko and I will continue my journey with my top 50 movies of the 21st century. If you haven't checked that first video out, go do that. Give me some feedback. What do you think? Neko was kind of up and down with it, but for the most part, I think she was enjoying it. So as we get closer to my number 1, she might even be happier. So we'll see how it goes. Thank you all. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time here on Metal Tavern Radio.
See ya.